Hello everyone, it's Scott, and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Valve Skyblock Expert Mode. In my hand is the Thaumcraft Nomicon, and I have, in between episodes, gotten started on some really basic stuff within Thaumcraft. So I started following a guide on the internet for scanning gadgets, and let me just look up Essence. There we go. So these are all the Thaumcraft aspects. Sorry, I keep getting that term wrong. That I've discovered so far. So each one of these is kind of dumbed down here in the NEI because at least in Agrarian Skies, it had a secondary. Let's see if I can bring this up. Okay, so if I right-click on this, it shows me the items that that contain that particular aspect. And if I hold the Shift button, I can see if I've already scanned that item, of which I've done quite a number of things here. And of course, some are better than others. I never quite got the hang of, I guess, air. I guess there's a lot of. I'm gonna have to start scanning flowers, I guess, to see if there's more aspects of air associated with that. But the yeah, so anything that I have a question mark next to means that there's still another aspect out there that I haven't found the combination to. Probably because I've only well, I have a lot of things, but I haven't scanned them all yet. So things like the crafting storage. Anytime I find one of these machines, it just seems to give me just a ton of aspects. And so when I click them with the thermometer, and the thermometer is a pretty well, here, I should probably start at the beginning. So the very first thing you need to do is make the Nomicon, and that is a that has no crafting formula, because what you have to do is you have to hit the a bookshelf with an iron wand. So iron cap. So these wands are the basic 25 capacity wands, and you get them by mixing a standard stick with 2 iron caps. Iron caps are just a bunch of nuggets. And so once you have that starter wand, which I have right here, iron cap wooden wand, that opens up the Nomicon, which is sort of the guide for everything that is Thaumcraft. So it turns out that this has the long form of item research, and I broke out just a couple of these. This is going to be just a huge time sink, unfortunately. There's just let me give an example here. So let's say I want to upgrade to another level of wands, right? So what I need to do is get a research note like this. Once I left click that formula, if I put the research note in the research table, I get a little mini game here that I have to piece together these 3 aspects, 3 or more aspects, by linking the different aspects together. So arbor takes herba, so what I would do is drag and click and drop it in. Likewise, the precantatio takes void and potentia, so potentia over here. So if there's anything that uses, now here's where things get a little wacky, right? Because herba, whatever it is, has, I could kind of link together formulas. So herba is allowed to touch air, and it's also allowed to touch either the grass or the corporal or humanus. So if I kind of work forward, yeah, so some things are more expensive than others, unfortunately. If I can kind of get things back down to the base, well then, yeah, things are gonna work out a lot better than for me. So if I drag that in, you can see that that is not a match So I have to shift click to bring it back, and I have a chance that it returns the research for me. And let's take a look at this again. So plants and okay, it's supposed to combine. Yeah, there should be a tiny little line here connecting the items. And it is not. Okay. Let me see if I can work through this little game here. Okay, so once I get the formula all connected, you see that it kind of goes into a solve state. It gives me a formula up here that I can then right-click, and it's going to give me a piece of research, Greatwood Wand Core. And so if I go back in the Thaumcraft, I see that it's now unlocked that particular research. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that I'm going to have to work on here, namely, especially Greatwood. Let me see how I can get that. So I'm going to need to put oak wood in a crucible, which, well, that means I'm going to need to make the crucible. So, all right. So the crucible for Thaumcraft is just going to be a standard cauldron from vanilla Minecraft, and then I'm going to have to right-click that. So let me make a iron. Do I have any iron plate? Yes, I do. So one cauldron. Now I'm gonna have to be a little careful because I'm gonna have to put a bit of a fire underneath it. So let's get some more of my marble here. And yeah, let's put it here. Whoops. Where'd it go? Alright, that was kind of weird. I ended up re-logging. So let's put the crucible on top, and let's hit it with that wand. And like that, it turns into the Thaumcraft crucible, and that's what I'm going to need to, well, I'm going to need to set up a water source. I'm going to need to set up a fire source. So let me take care of that, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and here's what I've got so far. So I have the Thaumcraft Crucible being fed with water from the fluid export bus that's being lit from a netherrack that's continuously on fire. And when this works, this will be bubbling here. I'll have to make sure I don't actually sit in the crucible, but you can see that it's bubbling. And one of the things I've been wanting to make here is niter. So I unlocked the formula, glowstone dust, in with fire, lux, and potentia. And from what I can tell, the each of these is going to be pretty simple. So I'm going to need some coal, a torch, and let's grab that. Let's grab a torch. And the last thing I need is fire, which I can get through a blaze. So blaze drops in a single use, and so let's grab glowstone, 13,000. Okay, so let's drop in a piece of blaze. Oh, let's turn off the magnet first. Oh, no! Okay, that stinks, because I just dropped the magnet into, okay, so what's going on here? I don't think the magnet actually did anything. Alright, wand. Nothing. Alright, let's try this again. Let's drop in blaze powder, coal, and a torch. And then lastly, we'll drop in a piece of glowstone. Well, that didn't quite work as expected, so Alright, I'm going to try this again. So I'm going to drop in 3 torches, 3 blaze powder, 2 coal, and a glowstone. No? Oh, yes. And then that gave me a niter. And so I'm going to right click the Crucible to get rid of any kind of overflow. I already had one little tiny accident here. A little bit of waste. So that's how we make the niter. And the niter can be used as an infinite flame also. So if I break the fire here, right click with the niter, we'll see that that will actually continuously bubble the Crucible as well. So I'll just protect this up here for any kind of future crafting. So the next thing I want to unlock in the book is this Essentia distillation. So I think that's going to get me down the road to breaking down items into their fluid essence, matching the aspects. Alright, that just took forever. So as soon as I got the Essentia distillation, it unlocks the Alchemical Furnace, which looks like it's going to be fairly simple, but it allowed me to purchase the Ascension Tubes, and it's offering me up to purchase Advanced Ascension Tubes without, without needing to go through the whole process. So I'm just going to click here and grab it. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do here is there is one other thing that I was working on outside of alchemy, and that's energistic. So I managed to unlock the Arcane crafting terminal, which is one thing that I want to make next. So I should have another Arcane work table that I accidentally made earlier. So let's see if I can make, do I have caps? No. So what I'm going to do is grab some of the iron nuggets here, drop this in a U-shaped pattern, make iron caps. I'm going to make a formula for basically the iron wand here. So that way I can just kind of whip them up and dispose of them. Caps 2, and then stick. Bink, bink. And now I can make wands on demand, and that way I'll just cycle through a bunch of wands, each time getting the 25 free essence. Or are these all empty? That's a good question. Because I think capacity 25. Okay, so I think I might have to find some nodes scattered about to, to start charging my wands. But let's see if I can make the that terminal. Alright, this is going to require an Emmy terminal, calculation processor. So let's make one of those, and a Emmy terminal, which I have here. Excellent. Done. And I should be able to throw all of these here in the table. 1, 2, 3, with a wand. Insufficient V. Alright, so I am going to have to go and find myself a V source. So let me figure out how I'm going to do that. Alright, here I am at the edge of my base. I've recharged my jetpack, so I'm going to have to go down and start diving down to to almost bedrock levels. So let's go down to Y 10 or so and turn on hover mode and see if I see any nodes here as I fly around. So I'm now outside of the of the base. Let's go down a little bit more. Here we go. Alright, so this is what the nodes look like. So I've already scanned this guy, and there's another one over here. So in hover mode, let's right click and hold. So we see that it's giving us, it's only actually giving us 4 research points each, but what I'm going to do is right click a little, and up in the upper left we see that the bar is actually drawing down. So I'm slowly filling myself up with these levels, but what I do not want to do is draw it down to 0, because that'll destroy the node's ability to recharge. So I'm at 22, 20, 24. How's my jetpack doing? I'm going to die. Okay, so let's get myself over here to a water column, so that way when it runs out. Whoop. Okay. So let's recharge the jetpack and try to do that again. Hello, I'm back, and I realized if there's anything that I'm going to do with with gathering more nodes, I'm going to need a better jetpack. So I've been looking at the next tier up of industrial craft based EU-based jetpacks, and the next one seems to be brought in by this Graviation Suite mod, in which I can make a 3 million EU-based electric jetpack. So the formula for this is going to take the old electric jetpack and mix it with some a whole bunch of pretty advanced stuff. So within the Emmy terminal, let's take a look at what I've kind of prepped out a bunch of things so far. So if I'm going to make I'm going to need another engine booster, so I can, well, let's start at the beginning. So going down the tiers, I need to make one of these advanced lap pack, which I've already made the Lapatron crystal for. I've done this before in the LP system. The energy pack, a little different, but so I made the formula for energy crystals, so I can just use the Emmy system to make those now. And so if I were to make a few advanced circuits, then I should be able to make a energy pack. Bam. Let's throw that back in. Then the jetpack again is going to need... let's make another one then of the advanced circuits. So you can see here that there's quite a lot of things that it needs to make, but fortunately I have automated all those formulas from the rubber down to the redstone chipsets. I wired up the second of the assembly tables. I also started wiring up here one of the carpenter blocks. So this is again, it has a dedicated formula here, so the interface is just set up to drop in the gold and the redstone, and it knows enough to combine them in this pattern and dump them out here in the bottom right, where they will be fed back in through a import bus into the Emmy system. So with that, let's get back to the advanced electric circuit, throw that in here, and that'll make us an advanced lap pack. So let's take the old electric jetpack off and see how much of this I can make then. Okay, so I'm missing one more engine booster, which is going to require, pretty much going through that whole cycle again. Okay, and so that should wash through all of that, and then finally, okay, I'll just need one more advanced circuit for the bottom. And done. And then that should give us that for the advanced electric jetpack. Bam. Okay, wow, that's quite a hefty pack here. So that'll help me with a lot of my flying needs. Now, over here, I've been doing a lot of development to get to automate the shards that I'm going to need for Thaumcraft. So down here are the 6 basic shards, and so each one of these has a unique hammer formula through ex nihilo. So sandstone slabs are made from stacking 2 sandstone together. Fire shards made from nether brick. Water is from ice, which I got from hooking up that machine to the Emmy system. Grass blocks through my grass factory. Stone slabs here through make order shards. And lastly, the TNT will make entropy shards. And so one interesting property of autonomous activators is when you place a oops, is that off? Okay, Jetpack engine is off. I'll have to figure that out shortly. But one interesting thing about autonomous activators is that when you have items placed up in a vertical direction, it actually places them 2 blocks above. Bink, bink. And so I can just seal this whole thing away in the system here, and oops, I'm going to need some more glass then, quite clear glass. And so what I'm going to do is set this up with a row of placers to pull items out of the Emmy interface here. So this is acting like the internal inventory. We can go and grab a crafting card later in order to restock these. But what I'm going to do is set this up with retrievers. And so these are they work the opposite of servos. So not that complicated of formula, Ender Eyes and Enderium. But whereas a white servo pushes items into an inventory, the retriever retrieves items from an inventory. So let's set this up with a white list for sandstone slabs. And what that should do is start to reach out to the Emmy interface block and automatically pull in bits of sandstone. So awesome. So at this point, all I need to do is put the crafting card in. So let me just make one of those quick. Crafting cards are just basic cards with a crafting table, of which I have all the pieces. I just haven't bothered to automate yet because probably should, because I seem to be going through them like candy at this point. But that will dump it right back into the Emmy system. Oh man, crafting card. Okay, here it is. So let's do one of those here, and that should restock the items. Yep, you see that it's starting to fill up here. So all I have to do is go through and lay out a crafting formula for each one of these. So that'll be the nether brick. I'll need one for ice and one for grass. Stone slabs, and finally TNT. Bam. So with all of that, that's going to be the formulas to pull items out of the Emmy interface. So now I need to get how I get items in. So let me just grab this. I'm going to make a row of, oh, you know what? I probably don't need to do that because what I can do is use the fluctuating ducts again. So do I have enough of those? No, I'm going to need to make at least a batch more. So the fluctuating ducts are going to carry both the power and the item draw to the blocks. And what I'd like to do then is take take a chest, and what I'd like to do is make a fuzzy card. So the fuzzy card basically gives the Emmy system the ability to ignore MBT and that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is set this up with a export bus. The export bus then will get the fuzzy card, where we see then adds a new item here. So I can match any. So what I like to do is have it start exporting hammers into this block. So any kind of hammer that it sees in the Emmy system, it's going to just start drawing out. In that case, then I'm going to take the fluctuating item ducts, drop it here, then just grab a average servo and put them in here. Bam, 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 done. So that'll start putting the it'll start seeing the hammers and putting them into the autonomous activators. Will it? It better. Okay. Ignored, blacklist. That should pull out. Oh, I see what's going on. So the back side should actually be blue, and then that will allow it to be an input. So I'll have to go through this and basically clean up the... Yep, see now it's starting to pull in diamond hammers. And lastly then, I'll need to hook up the power through a kinesis pipe over to this side. So that means I'll need to probably... Yep, let's just go through the floor again. And I'm gonna, well, actually I can't because my jetpack's empty. So in the interest of finishing this, let's just route around. I can clean this up later, but that should feed the power in the system, which should start feeding the autonomous activators. The activators should then be set to a left click, so that way they start to break the items, and bam, like that, I should start to see shards, yep, appearing in the Emmy interface. So like that. Left click, bam. Good. Those are loading in. So how about if I add a speed then, a speed upgrade. Yep, that works. Okay. And entropies aren't rolling in. Let's see if there's probably a problem with the style. Auto smelting is probably going to not work. But efficiency should. Oh, there we go. So now we're making shards. Okay, excellent. So I'll just run down the rest of this line and wire everything else up, and then check back in. Alright, I'm going to call it an episode here. So I have a lot of hunting to do for nodes. It's going to take a while to recharge this jetpack. It turns out the bat box is not going to do it, so I'm going to have to look into which of the devices can actually charge this. And so that's something I'm going to take a look at in between episodes. I'm going to try to unlock a couple more Thaumcraft things and then start getting into the next level of witchery. So if you could, please leave a comment or a like, and I will see you next time in Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock Expert Mode. Bye!